You've heard of towns disappearing, but have you ever heard of a town that's been burning underground for more than 60 years? A fire so unstoppable, the government simply abandoned it. This is the real story America tried to forget. And before we dive in, tell me in the comments, do you think a fire can burn for centuries? In the next few minutes, you're going to see how one tiny mistake, a routine cleanup, accidentally ignited the longest underground fire in U.S. history, a fire that turned a peaceful town into a toxic ghost city and is still spreading as you watch this video. Stay with me because the truth gets stranger than anything Hollywood ever wrote. Our story begins in Centralia, Pennsylvania, a quiet mining town built on top of one of the largest anthracite coal deposits in America. Generations lived here. Miners woke before dawn, children walked to the same school their parents attended, and every house had a story. But beneath all that, beneath the churches, the barber shops, the front porches, lay a massive labyrinth of abandoned coal mines. And inside those mines, tons of untouched, highly flammable coal. It was like building a town on top of a giant pile of dry wood. Centralia was peaceful, ordinary, normal. Until one day, it wasn't. Because in 1962, a single spark turned the entire town into a ticking time bomb. Right before Memorial Day weekend, the town decided to clean up an old, illegal garbage dump. They'd done it many times in the past. Burn the trash, let it smolder, and cover it with dirt. Simple, routine, harmless. Except this time, the fire didn't go out. Unbeknownst to anyone, the landfill sat on top of a forgotten mine shaft. When the flames reached a small crack in the ground, oxygen rushed downward into the tunnels. And suddenly, the fire found something it had never had before. Fuel. Endless fuel. Columns of smoke began seeping out of the ground. The soil warmed. Strange heat waves shimmered over the road. Still, the town wasn't worried. Yet. But here's where things got strange. The fire didn't stay underground. It began moving, slowly, silently, burning through old tunnels, climbing upward, releasing toxic fumes. The ground began to buckle. Strange patches of earth turned hot enough to melt rubber. People started falling sick without explanation. Something was deeply, dangerously wrong. For 20 years, local officials argued about what to do. Some said the fire was dying out. Others called it harmless. They were wrong. In 1981, a 12-year-old boy named Todd Domboski was walking across his backyard when the ground suddenly ripped open beneath his feet. A smoldering sinkhole, 150 feet deep, swallowed him almost instantly. The only thing that saved him was a tree root he grabbed onto as poisonous steam rose around him. He was seconds away from disappearing forever. Rescuers pulled him out just in time, but Centralia would never be the same. Because if a child could fall through the ground, anyone could. Houses started collapsing, basements filled with carbon monoxide. Thermometers placed inside cracks measured temperatures over 900 degrees Fahrenheit. The government finally admitted the truth. The fire was unstoppable. Federal and state officials arrived with a grim plan, not to extinguish the fire, but to erase the town. Residents were offered buyouts. Some accepted, heartbroken to leave the homes they'd lived in for generations. Others refused. These holdouts believed the fire wasn't real, or wasn't dangerous, or that they could outlast the government. But the fire kept spreading. Roads cracked open. Fissures spit out sulfur smoke. The famous graffiti highway warped and buckled like a roller coaster. And slowly, by house, by family, Centralia turned into a modern American ghost town. Today, only a few homes remain. The rest, gone, swallowed, buried. Scientists estimate the coal seam fire could burn for another 200 to 500 years, long before everyone watching this video is gone. Imagine that. a mistake made in 1962 could still be burning in the year 2300. Centralia became a cautionary tale, but also a symbol of stubborn hope. The last residents fought eminent domain for decades. Some refused to leave until the government literally bulldozed their homes. And yet, the fire continues beneath their feet, a reminder that history doesn't always fade away. Sometimes it burns forever. Tell me in the comments, if this happened in your town, would you stay or would you leave everything behind? This was just one forgotten American disaster, a town erased by a fire that never ends. If you love uncovering hidden history like this, you'll love what's coming next week. Subscribe, because in our next episode, we're exploring another shocking American mystery, one even stranger than Centralia.